You're listening to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm Ryan Hill.
I'm John Galantis.
You can find our show online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions for Dr. Shah or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028, or you can email us at contact@clearviewtodayshow.com.
That's right, and you can help us keep the conversation moving forward by supporting the show. You can share it online with your friends and family. Leave us a good 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasting content from. We're going to leave a couple of links right there in the description. Don't let me see even one 4-star review or below that. It's got to be a 5-star review. Right now I have a grand total of 3.
Like 3 stars?
No, 3 5-star reviews.
3 5
No,
stars.
I'm joking. I'm
Okay.
sure it's way more than that. But you need the number needs to come up. Those are rookie numbers. We're trying to bump those numbers up.
Rookie numbers.
I just got to say something, man. Welcome to the Grapevine. Hey, can we get some music for the Grapevine? Like literally anything. Is this a Grapevine music? Nah, I'm gonna say no.
No.
I always picture
No.
50 cents in the club for Grapevine, but I think that might be copyrighted.
For the Grapevine, really?
Boom, boom, pff, hey, boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
boom.
yeah, that I pictured something totally different. I was picturing like dueling banjos, like.
Oh, yeah, that might be kind of cute.
I'm
All
thinking
right,
like Grapevine, like agriculture, kind of rural.
Yeah, I'll see what we can do. I can't stand when it feels like I can't say anything right in a conversation. Like I'm talking to someone and I tell you what, let's just act this out.
Okay.
All right. I want you to just kind of try to get it, like actively listen.
Okay.
I had a fight with my wife last night and I just felt
Like frustrated?
No, not frustrated. It was like I couldn't, like I was really angry, but it's something that she couldn't necessarily
like angry, like that she wasn't communicating well.
No, not even that. It's like it's like that she would even do that to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like surprised.
No, not surprised. It was like okay, I'm trying to get across to her what you're doing is affecting me negatively, and I just want that behavior.
What to behavior to stop?
No, not that necessarily. It's just.
Okay, so nothing I said. Nothing I said was right.
Yeah, like I'm right, but you're finding more creative ways to say it. Like I wasn't frustrated. It was just like I couldn't believe that she would do that to me. It's like, yeah, that's frustrated.
That's frustrated. That's what frustrated means.
It makes me, and not everyone does this, but it makes me feel so stupid. Like there's no point in me listening.
Yeah.
There's no point in me trying to actively listen.
You don't want me to listen. Oh, 100%. I've had people do that. Yes, absolutely. Where you're like, do you just not want me here? You want me silent? Like, what do you want me to do? What do you want? You tell me how you want me to listen, and I'll do it.
And it wasn't even so. I have a good friend, a really, really great friend. It's not always like negative. It's like sometimes it's about spiritual stuff. It's like God, He's doing good things, and He's doing good things as you as a leader. And it's one thing where He's trying to bring about. And I'm like, yeah, bring about the best in me. No, not even that, right? Because our righteousness is filthy rags. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Sure,
like,
and that's what I meant.
Right. And what He's trying to do is He's bringing this new horizon so that you can kind of see
what He's doing.
Yeah,
what God is doing.
No, not really, because if you think about it, He knows what He's doing.
Sure.
We're following in faith.
Right.
But it's just one of those things where it brings you to a better understanding.
In your relationship with God.
No, not really that, because our relationship is perfect.
Yeah, no, nothing that I said. Right, yeah.
It's like with the Holy Spirit, your relationship is always, but it can't get any better. It's like just nothing you say is ever right.
I'll just be quiet. I'll just sit over here silently.
I'll stone face you, and you just tell me.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna control the flow. No problem. Sure. Yeah, I can't stand when people do that.
That's a real gripe. You think Dr. Shah's ever dealt with that?
I'm sure he has. As many people as he's talked to, as many, I'm sure, interactions with people, counseling appointments,
Yeah.
you're trying to, and people are like, no, not really that. Yeah. Sure, okay. Yeah, you tell me. Right.
Let's ask him. Let's get him in here and ask him.
If you've ever had someone kind of,
just,
what would you call that?
I don't even know what to call it.
I don't even know what to call it.
Yeah, it's
just stymie any kind of conversation happening.
Negate everything you say.
Write in and let us know, 252-582-5028, or you can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Not even .com.
Yeah, not even that.
It's a website, but it's really more of an experience.
Yeah, don't even go to that. Even if you text in the number, honestly, not even that way.
Right. I would even that.
Yeah,
really not even that.
I don't even know what to do.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, Clearview family. I'm Nicole.
And I'm David.
And we want to talk to you today about the Clearview app. You know, there are so many churches out there that put their sermons on YouTube and their announcements on Facebook and their prayer list on Periscope.
I didn't even know Periscope was still functional.
Oh, it's not. And that's why nobody can find their church's prayer list and nobody's prayers be getting answered. But here at Clearview, we believe in making our content as accessible as possible.
That's right. Clearview produces so much content every single week, including Dr. Shah's sermons, original music, a full online store, weekly prayer gatherings, and so much more.
Not to mention the #1 best-selling Christian talk show of all time.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, maybe not yet, but that's why we want people to download the app.
If you're listening from the Triangle area, we encourage you to check out Clearview Church in person. But if not, you can still follow all of our content on the Clearview app. It's 100% free on the Apple Store and Google Play Store. And best of all of our content is right there in one convenient spot.
Make sure you download the Clearview app today, and let's get back to the show.
Welcome back to Clearview Today with Dr. Abadan Shah, the daily show that engages mind and heart for the gospel of Jesus Christ. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com, or if you have any questions or suggestions for new topics, send us a text to 252-582-5028.
That's right, and we're here once again in the Clearview Today studio with Dr. Abadan Shah, who's a PhD in New Testament textual criticism, professor at Carolina University, author, full-time pastor, and the host of today's show. Dr. Shah, have you ever been in a conversation with someone and you feel like you just can't say anything right? Everything that you try to contribute, they undermine it. Like, we did this in the beginning, but I'll give you another example. Like, you tell me about some things that have been going wrong.
So I was talking to this person, and the conversation just left me feeling really
like kind of down.
No, not down.
Oh, okay.
More just like confused as to where they were coming from, what they were thinking, and I didn't really know. Like what
to do, like what to do on it.
No, not really what to do, but what to say.
Got you, right.
Or, how to contribute to the conversation. Like how to move things forward.
How to advance the conversation.
No, not really advance the conversation.
Not even that, right? Have you ever been talking to someone and anything you try to contribute, they're just like, no, not even that.
That's my wife.
Yeah, dude. Let me give Dr. Shah some respect on that. You know what's funny?
Nicole would do that.
I shouldn't have known. I should.
At there were times in the early years, I would be like, so this is how it happened. It's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I used to tell us, like, if I'm ever in a situation they're about to hang me, please just go along with whatever I say.
Yeah, I don't know why people do that. Like even I didn't even think about Nicole, but Nicole is pretty bad. She'll be like, and I was talking to him, and I was just so.
Oh, Ellie does it too.
Ellie'll do it. She's like, oh, frustrated. No, not even
really
that.
Frustrated.
Just, you were angry. No, not even angry. Just I couldn't believe they would do that. Like, yeah, that's frustrated. That's angry. I was right.
Stop trying to halt the conversation.
Yeah, Ellie will do that. I really was not expecting.
Does Elizabeth ever do that?
Sometimes.
She does.
She does.
Like they want to not be understood.
Yeah.
They want to be they want to not be understood.
Accuracy is important above all else. I'm like,
no, not even accuracy, man. It's not even that.
Yep,
it's like,
sure. Not even accuracy. Yep,
I can't say anything right.
Right. Silly me. Right.
You want to read Mark 9:24?
I do. So verse of the day today is coming to us from Mark chapter 9, verse 24. Immediately the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, help my unbelief.
No, not even unbelief. It's like more than that. You know what's funny? I still, after being saved for, let's see, I gotta say when I was 15, 30 was another 15, 17 years. I still pray that. Like, just help my unbelief. It's not even that like I doubt or I don't believe. It's just I feel those doubts creeping in sometimes, and I don't want that. I don't want to be in a place where I still doubt after all this time.
That's right. Yeah, same here. I've grown in my faith over the years. But then there are times I still struggle. I still struggle over unanswered prayers. I struggle over difficult situations. It's like, God, why aren't you fixing this?
Yeah.
Why aren't you solving this problem? This is your business. This is your kingdom. Everything is about you. What is it? say we all struggle.
Yeah. You know, that's actually a great point. You sent a video that I'd like to, well, actually, you know what? Why don't you do the Clearview Current intro? Because I don't want to step on
I would love to.
Why don't you go on ahead and do that? Man?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Clearview Current, where we cut through the chaos of today's headlines with a clear Christian perspective. We're here to keep you up to date on what's going on in the world, big or small.
That's right. Dr. Shah, you sent this video because you were talking about, you know, why is God either delaying on these prayers or all these things that are going wrong in our country. We're seeing all these problems. One of them, and a big one we want to talk about today, is the problem of abortion.
Yeah.
And you sent this video in our group thread the other day. I thought it was really cool. I just wanted to play this video. If you're listening to the show and you're not watching the video podcast, what are you doing? It's been 2 years.
Like, I'm driving in my car.
But I want you. Well, true, fair enough. But I want you.
But then go watch the video.
I want you to see this. This is really cute and this is nice.
Nenê do pai.
Oh.
Ah, meu Deus do céu, gente.
It's a father speaking to the ultrasound.
Ela tá feliz, meu Deus.
Look at that! Look at that face.
Bebê.
Open eyes. Wow, look at this smile.
The baby is smiling when it hears the father's voice.
Céu.
Do you know that language, Dr. Shaw? Can you?
I think it's Brazil. I mean, it's Portuguese.
Okay.
Ah, meu Deus do céu, gente.
Oh.
So, I love the caption. It's an ultrasound at 32 weeks shows an unborn child smiling at her dad's face. A child's location doesn't determine their humanity.
Right. That's a powerful statement.
It is.
And this video I came across, I don't know if I was answering some social media posts and putting some out, and I came across, I was like, what is this? Because I saw the ultrasound, and so I said, let me watch and see, and I was blown away.
Yeah.
Where this dad, this is apparently in Brazil, he is talking to the child in the ultrasound, and the baby can hear her dad, and every time he calls, says something, baby smiles.
Yeah.
You can see the smile on the baby's face.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
It's
Baby
100%.
reacting in real time to her father's face or father's voice.
It's amazing how technology has sort of revealed this humanity, because before it was pretty easy to just see this blob
It's just a
of
mass.
gray. Yeah,
Just a
it's
mass.
a clump of cells, and it can't
Yeah.
feel anything. It can't
Yeah.
feel any emotion. It has no brain waves.
Now go back and think about all the millions upon millions upon millions of babies that have been killed.
Yeah.
Just like that.
That's right.
Just like that.
That's right.
And in that presidential debate a few days ago, it's a travesty that you have people standing up there and arguing for the woman's right to choose.
Yeah.
And, we have a lot to answer for.
Oh yeah.
I came from another part of the world, but I came to America, and our family was impacted by abortion, or the fact that we didn't do it. My mom and dad, they had a choice to abort, and it was very compelling, because my mom had been sick for a while. She had fluid built up in her lungs, and they went through a lot of different things, just trying to figure things out. This is back in the 81. I mean, this is 82, I'm sorry, in 1982. And technology was not the best at the time, and they didn't have enough knowledge back where we were. And so they blasted my mom with x-rays.
Gosh.
And so she was pregnant at the time, and they blasted her with x-ray after x-ray after x-ray. And then finally a doctor from outside came to this hospital. There was a railway hospital. And he told my mom and dad, you need to go to a medical college, because what's happening, what they're doing here and these doctors have been doing should not have been done. You should have gone there. So my mom and dad went to this medical college, Mirage Medical College, a Christian college. And that's where they found out that she was, she has fluid in her lung.
Right.
And so they said, don't do any more x-rays.
Right.
We're done with that. Let's drain this fluid out. And because you are pregnant, we're not going to give you anesthesia. Are you willing to take that? Because if we do it, we're going to mess with the baby. We've already feel like we've messed enough with it.
Right.
And so they actually drilled in her side without
No
anything.
anesthesia.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you can just imagine the pain that my
Oh,
mom
I
went
can.
through.
I can't even imagine.
And she did that for my sister, who's here now, by the way, in America, going to college. And so she went through that. And after that month and a half of being at that medical college, the treatment came to an end. My mom was healthy again, pregnant still. And some of the doctors there said, you need to go ahead and abort this child because based on our understanding, we haven't done any x-rays. This is before the ultrasound machines
Right.
and all that. We haven't done any x-rays, but just based on our understanding, I don't think there's much left there. That would be it'll be very traumatic to have whatever is there.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get rid of it and then move on. And my mom and dad were really heartbroken because, they did all this
Right.
to make sure that the child would be born.
Yeah.
And then to be told, it's nothing there
Wow.
other than this mass that is sort of existing. So they went to the x-ray technician's place, the x-ray, the department. And this is a college. So
Yeah.
it's not just like a x-ray department. This is where they study that.
Right.
And by this point, my mom and dad knew everybody in that hospital because my dad was a pastor, great speaker. He would attend the chapel. In the first week, people realized he was a great pastor, a preacher. So they began to get him to do all the chapels. So all the doctors, head of the departments would just give him the floor and say,
Wow.
why don't you lead our chapel? So for a month and a half, my dad led the chapel at this Christian college. And so everybody knew him. And the head of this x-ray department told my dad and my mom, all this time he'd been preaching and teaching the truth. It's impacted all our lives. You need to just go home and pray. Pray the Lord will take care of this. And instead of getting an abortion, I'm going to sign here on this form that the x-ray machine is down. And he did. He signed it. X-ray machine is down. Sorry, we can't do x-rays. Just go home. And my mom and dad went home. And then a couple of months later, my sister was born.
Wow.
So we have personally witnessed what happens when we choose to obey God and trust Him.
Was abortion, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Was abortion looked at the same way in India in those days as it is in America today?
No.
Like in America today, it's like that's not even an issue of life. That's an issue of women's health.
Yeah.
It's just a healthcare issue.
India is not a Christian country. So the values are not the same.
Yeah.
Were they left and right doing abortion? No. Because over there, at least, children are valued. And back then, this was not a big issue.
Gotcha.
Albeit family planning was making a lot of noise at that time.
Right.
And rightfully so, because there were, the population was going out of control and all that stuff. So they were talking a lot about family planning. Like, hey, 2 or 3 enough was their motto. 2 or 3 kids enough is what they would say. And so they were talking about that. The family planning here and some of those things are a whole different philosophy behind it.
So it was not widespread or looked upon favorably. It was like, this is something you do as a last resort kind of thing.
Abortion?
Yes, sir.
In India?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a last resort. It was not a let's get abortion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because this is not fun. No. That's not what was happening in India in the early 80s.
Right.
What it is now, I don't know.
I understand.
But when I came to America to see that abortion for convenience, that was shocking. It was like, oh, really?
Yeah.
This is not about mother's health? Because I understand if it's a mother's health situation, yes, of course you have to abort. Ectopic pregnancy, of course you have to abort.
Right.
Those are different issues.
Right.
No one is saying that, oh, no, never.
Yeah.
So how about incest and stuff like that? In those situations, here's what I would say. Just remember, the baby didn't do anything wrong.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Maybe an adult did something wrong. So you're taking the life of the baby. Why?
Yes, it's not a solution.
And it perpetuates the violence. It perpetuates the stuff that is being done against this woman, the mother.
Yeah.
Because in those instances, you're still only protecting yourself from having to deal with those situations.
Right.
Which is I understand you didn't ask for those situations.
Yeah.
Granted.
Or
fine.
rape. Rape is also one brought up. It's like, what about rape? In situations of rape, isn't it acceptable to go ahead and abort this child? No, I get it. I hear what you're saying. It's like if somebody had punched me, can I kill this person then?
Right.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
It's still killing somebody else because of what happened to me.
Yeah.
Right.
And I know a rape situation is very painful and incest is very, very painful for that person who's going through. So I'm saying that with a lot of respect
Sure.
and hopefully compassion. But still, the the third person is the child.
That's right. And having to give birth is a consequence, but it's not a punishment. It's not something that's like, well, I shouldn't have to do it. You know what I mean? It's not a moral punishment that you, because of this situation, now you're being punished by having to carry this out. And it's a very weird thing because it has become so desensitized and so, like you were saying with the debate that happened a couple weeks ago. It's not a question of value and it's not a question of morality. It's only a question of healthcare. It's a clinical thing that has become so desensitized and so normal that it doesn't have any weight anymore.
I can remember when Elizabeth was pregnant with our twins. The first go around, we had 2 babies, and in the process of getting tests done and making sure the babies are okay, there were several tests they wanted to do to check for things like Down syndrome and things that we can know in advance. And they started throwing around the phrase selective reduction. Like if one of the babies was not as developed or had some developmental issues, we could choose to terminate one and keep the healthy baby. And we very quickly said, listen, the only reason we want to know this information in advance is so that we can plan accordingly to take care of our children.
Right.
But that is not a conversation we want to have. But just the fact that it was just kind of thrown around in the doctor's offices.
Yeah, it's always an option.
Why is this even on the table?
Yeah, it's very, very sad. And just know that this is not a 20th century debate because of Democrats versus Republicans. Early in the history of Christianity, Christians stood up against abortion. And abortion was not performed in a clinic at the time. We're going back to the 2nd, 3rd century AD.
Yeah.
These were abortion parties they used to have among the Romans.
Wow.
Where if you didn't want a child, that the neighbor ladies and families would come and they will beat on your stomach until the baby would die, and then you will go ahead and have the child.
Yeah.
Have this, dead mass, I guess. So they would do stuff like that. Christians are the ones who spoke up against this abortion. Of course, today's abortion looks different, but it has the same principle behind it.
Right. You know what's really funny? Well, not even funny, but what's really interesting is we travel a lot, and we've gone to some of the ancient Canaanite cities.
Yeah.
I think we went to Hatzor, we went to like Tel Dan and Jericho and stuff like that. And so you get there and you get lost in the history of like, wow, this was here and this was like so old. And you forget, like, these people were doing some of the most heinous things.
That's right.
And it's crazy because I know you've said this from the pulpit a lot and you've said it on the show. We think of the Canaanites as just like barbarians, cavemen. We don't think of them as an advanced civilization who knew what they were doing.
Right.
That's right. I mean, if you look at their city building techniques, how the Bible talks about their walls went right up into the heavens. Now, of course, they didn't go like all the way touching the clouds, but they were very tall walls, and just the way they would build the moat and things like that. I preached on that one time a few years ago. They were very, very skilled.
Yeah.
The alphabets. So we are inheriting the alphabets of the Phoenicians.
Right.
The Canaanites,
Right.
And their sailing techniques. All these things tell us that they were a very advanced culture. They understood farming. They understood fruit growing. They knew how to build vineyards. I mean, they were very smart people. But one thing they had that was heinous was child sacrifice. Now, we don't find that in the land of Israel, proof for that. We find that in North Africa where the Phoenicians went. Phoenicians are Canaanites who chose to move from there and go to North Africa. But when you go there, you find graveyards of tiny little children.
Yeah.
And these are not children who died in childbirth or, just as babies they died. These were children who were purposely killed for whatever, to appease the gods.
And we would look at that and we would say, wow, that's barbaric and that's terrible. And it is. But we also look at what's going on here in America and we say, well, that's our right.
Right.
It's not about, and I remember when the core argument was, is this thing in my stomach alive? If it's alive, you can't kill it. If it's not alive. So the argument was, oh, hey, it's not alive. It's a clump of cells. It's blah, blah, blah. That's not the argument anymore.
No.
I don't hear people on either side of the debate debating that. It's, do I have the right to do it? I'll go ahead and contend it's alive. It's a person in there. But I have this right.
Yeah, I mean, some time back, New York had passed a bill, and I'm going back to date-wise. I'm trying to find the date. I preached a message called Vicious Cycle.
I remember that message.
Yeah, this was back in 2019. That's about 5 years ago. New York had passed a bill. According to this bill, they would allow abortion after the 24th week and as late as the 40th week.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay?
That's wow.
Yeah, this is back in 2019. And there were 8 other states that already had no gestational limits. States like Alaska, Colorado, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. And according to the CDC, only 1.3% of the abortions are after 21 weeks. And how many is that? If there are 638,169 abortions per year. Did you know that?
That is a
600,000
horrible
abortions
number.
per year.
Yeah,
That's about
unfortunately.
8,000 late-term abortions in a year in America at the time. This is 2019.
Yeah, they get you with that. It's such a low percentage.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's 8,000 babies.
a low percentage of 600,000 is still a large number.
Yeah, 8,000 babies is too many.
Yeah. So thank God for President Trump, bringing the debate back to the states.
That's right.
Let the states decide. And of course, as he mentioned in the debate, some of the states decided for it. But at least now the states have a chance rather than a Supreme Court that sits back and makes this ruling across the board.
That's right.
600,000 babies are killed.
And we're fighting to continue it. We're fighting to keep it up.
Yeah.
So the question we need to really consider is, does the life of the unborn matter?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes.
That's a
it
resounding
matters
yes.
because it is life.
Yes.
That's right. That's
It
right.
is life.
There's a great book out there. It's called 30 Days of Praying for America.
Perhaps you've heard of
it. You might have heard of it. It's by Dr. Abadan Shah, who's sitting right here, and his wife, Nicole. But there's a great chapter. There's an entire chapter. It's day 25. It's all about the unborn. And I'm going to just say, from one father to we're all dads around this table, but I'm telling you right now, that chapter is something that you got to read, especially if you're on the fence about this issue. Even if you're not on the fence about this issue, you need to get this book. You need to read that chapter. There's a great part where you point out that the Canaanites are not here. God wiped them out because of their sin. He didn't wipe them out because he had different political agreements. He didn't wipe them out because their time had just come. It was because of their horrible sin and what they were doing. And there's a great quote in there that says, what do you think God thinks about America right now?
Yeah.
It's only by his mercy, only by his grace that
That's
we're
right.
still doing as good as we are.
That's right.
That's right. Make sure you pick up a copy, 30 Days of
Yes.
Praying for America. We'll link it in the description box of this video, but you can buy it on Amazon. Contact us at 252-582-5028 to reserve your copy. We can help you get one in your hands. Hope today's discussion is helpful for you. Write in and let us know what you got from it. You can visit us online at clearviewtodayshow.com. Don't forget, you can partner with us financially on that same website. Scroll to the bottom, click that donate button, and let us know it's coming from our Clearview Today Show family. Lots of great content coming your way the rest of this week. Make sure you guys tune in. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow on Clearview Today.